So Ice Age 6 has finally been named, and also it's been delayed to February 2027. Just to fully mark the original Shrek 5 versus Ice Age Christmas face-off officially dead. Thanks Avengers Doomsday for making December 2026 significantly less interesting. So, after 10 years on ice, it looks like the Ice Age franchise is literally heating back up, and, well, they just haven't learned nothing from this franchise, have they? And just to really hit home how Disney is now overseeing this whole thing, we have a baby Scrat in there as well, so they can merchandise this IP to its boiling point as well. Oh, and they're doing the damn dinosaurs and the underworld stuff again. This is an Ice Age 3 sequel, for the second time, actually, by Disney. Now, if you saw my first video on the announcement, you know that my hope for this movie was that they would use this as an opportunity to do a proper reset, you know, to reconnect with that original movie more. Having a more personal story, maybe even involving an adult version of the kid, as creepy as that baby's face on an adult body would be. And that may still happen within the madness of all of this, but it looks like instead they're mainly going to try to, once again, one-up the apocalyptic premises of the 4th and 5th movies. You know, clearly the best ones. And from the title that we just got from Disney's D23 convention, I initially thought they were doing a global warming movie, which is crazy in the Ice Age. Plus, I thought Disney were trying to make stuff more for the bros who didn't believe in that sort of thing. They're just waiting for those Ice Age goes woke tweets as we speak. Not to mention, they already kind of did that with the second movie. Unless they really wanted to make clear how hard they're kicking the same dead horse. I mean, the actual studio that this franchise belonged to is dead, so I guess it's already pretty clear they're doing that. Anyway, this one's actually referring to lava and volcanoes. Though I'm sure those tweets will still happen. And also, isn't a volcano the ending of one of the movies anyway? Whatever the case, I can't say I'm surprised by all this. Clearly, they're just working their way down the box set of global disasters. And I guess, hey, it technically fulfills the theory that the Ice Age movies are going backwards in time. The first movie is about the era of humans. It starts way back when the meteor destroyed the dinosaurs, and before that, there's nothing but volcano and gaseous plants at the bottom of the ocean. Are they ever going to do an ocean movie? I just wonder what family drama they're going to try to saddle it up with this time, after last time when we learned that mammoths have a concept of marriage, which was naturally resolved by Manny and his new son-in-law rolling an actual asteroid together like two giant dung beetles with trunks. How you top the narrative choices of that, I have no idea. At least with every Ice Age movie, we get to see Scrat and his acorn indulge in some slapstick scenario that hilariously causes these huge events with no narrative to weigh him down. That's the core of the movie. But nope, this time they had to ruin that too. He's got a kid now for merchandise money. I thought he definitively never had a partner because of his, you know, obsession with the acorn. Or their obsession with the acorn too. But hey, you know what? Maybe I'm being too tough. It doesn't automatically mean disaster. All the way back to the classic cartoons, we've had this classic trope of a classic cartoon character having to look after a kid version of themselves, which is, I think, what they're really going for here. I don't think this is the offspring from Scratchette in the third one. I'm sure he just finds this guy and has to look after them. After all, Scrat is basically just a CG version of those older character tropes, more comparably to Tom and Jerry, which was also known to do a couple shorts with this topic. So it could work, you know, it dates back to the golden era of cartoons. What I question here is the motive. It definitely reads as a Disney note of add a cute baby version that we can sell as a toy. It is definitely a marketing note before it was a creative one. But hey, maybe that's in the franchise's DNA. The original producer was Chris Meledandri after all, who went on to bless capitalism with the Minions. But this little detail here makes me concerned about a larger systemic issue over Ice Age's role in the larger Disney machine, particularly based on its last two sequels making money in spite of their quality. Because I don't know whether Disney cares if Ice Age 6 is bad. Rather, they have an animated IP that is not associated with their main studio or Pixar that they can basically arm to be a dumb, money-making franchise for kids. It's a legacy property, but it's not like Shrek, where DreamWorks has a lot to lose if the new one isn't very good. Ice Age has very much jumped the shark long ago and still made money. So what would even be the point in making a good one? This damn IP has managed to make $3.2 billion, which for now at least, is more than Frozen, despite at best only really having 2 solid movies, and just one that is about the actual Ice Age. That's what the news of the title and Baby Scrat initially says to me, anyway. Hello there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already to follow with more animated movie news. We're currently going through the Disney D23 news announcements, and honestly, it's almost a challenge to find which one is the deepest pit of wow, they have no hope going for them. Nonetheless, that's just my thought on the matter. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But for now, let's get to the second half of the video. Alright, cheers. And then there's the premise. Ice Age Boiling Point is a dinosaur and lava-filled madcap adventure. So yes, they're bringing the dinosaurs back yet again. Let's get 3 generations of kids thinking mammoths were hunted by the T-Rex. Why not? I guess Disney's first attempt at a dinosaur movie in 2000 didn't quite work. So they try and get that kids love dinosaurs thing through Ice Age instead. Again, it just feels like a marketing note. This madcap adventure takes Manny, Sid, Diego, Ellie, and Scrat, and the rest of the herd. Well, even just the sentence. It's just a long-running sentence of ands. And I love that they just gave up on naming all 12 principal characters that we have at this point. I guess this means that the damned son-in-law still exists alongside the Wanda Sykes granny. Visit the never-before-seen corners of the Lost World. So, the third movie again, but they're going even deeper into the earth for the last corner that hasn't been touched by this movie franchise yet. Never-before-seen corner? I didn't know there were any left. That's the movie they're doing, and I could not care less. Literally digging further into the premise of the third one that they already decided to do. Genuinely, did you forget? There's a Disney Plus movie that Disney made. It's terrible. I've covered it. I'd say that the one redeeming thing in this is that it would have Simon Pegg's Buck Wild returning. And they did the same thing with the Disney Plus movie, and look what they did to him in his semi-solo movie. They added another character to the cast. Ugh. If we're gonna go that deep into the earth as well, I doubt we're gonna be getting My Tribe of Humans led by the original kid either. What a shame. Or maybe we are. He grew to be super intelligent and has made an advanced society with lava fuel technology beneath the surface. It's like that 90s flop Waterworld, but with... You see what I'm going with here. Honestly, after the group of animals with eternal youth in the purple asteroid for the 5th one, it's anyone's guess at this point. They clearly can do anything they want by following off how ridiculous these sequels got, and maybe my dream for a legacy follow-up to the original was wishful thinking. But nah, we're essentially just getting a follow-up to the third movie. Ice Age 3.5. Except now the 5th one and the Disney Plus spin-off introduced talking dinos will probably add 5 of them to the herd by the time this whole thing's done. I swear Moses led less people through the Red Sea than Sid the Sloth leading ensemble characters through the center of the earth in this movie. Forget Journey to the center of the earth, there's gonna be a convoy. Not that it's worth leaving story notes at this point, but one thing they could at least do is condense the cast who actually come with them. I mean, they won't, but like, Peaches is now married. Her and her insufferable husband, who apparently had no family of his own, but it was never addressed, they can go off and do their own thing now, if they don't have several children in this exact movie. Crash and Eddie can go with them. We don't really need those guys. They're just insufferable. They already had a protagonist role in the Buck Wild movie. Let's just have the original 3. Ellie and then, I guess, Diego's love interest, seeing as she's got almost no development and about 3 lines in the 5th one anyway, despite likely having to cover J-Lo's fee for doing even that. Let's make that money well spent and give that mediocre voice performance the screen time it deserves. But anyway, yes, Ice Age 6 Boiling Point is the name that they're going with, and will likely be spending a lot of it in what they're calling the Lost World again, which will be on a lower level to the dinosaur world that they already used this premise for in the 3rd movie, and will likely end up with copying the twist in Strange World. Honestly, anything goes at this point. If they are just going to use it as a way to siphon through their biggest flops, that's probably the next one coming. That, and then also a magic system of wishes and orbs. And in a completely unrelated adventure, Scrat will also find his way down there with them, but this time with a child to look after. Because weighing a funny character down with parenting always makes things better. My guess would be that he causes the thing that makes them go down there, presumably setting off a volcano with his nut. Hey, maybe the kid does it. From where I'm sitting, this really does just sound like Disney have found a loophole where they can produce an entirely commercially motivated movie without the usual quality expectations, put it under the 20th century label in order to distance themselves from it, and make all the money they can whilst they bury this previously extinct IP even further into the ground. With Blue Sky Studios now long dead and buried, this franchise really is as much a fossil as the animals within it, and Disney's now just chewing on the bones. So yeah, it's fair to say I'm not exactly delighted by this news, but I'm not at all surprised. As someone who actually sat through the whole low-budget Disney Plus buck wild movie, I am really not surprised. And you too can join me on that adventure if you want. We made a terrible on it. I'll link it around somewhere. Frankly, after reading about this, just bring on Shrek 5 at this point. At least we know a lot more effort will have been put into that one, even if it doesn't work out. For now, though, I'm going to end it off there. Whew, what an update. My name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell me your thoughts on Boiling Point. Are you going to watch it? How bad do you think it will be? Has it got any hopes? What would you do? You know what I mean? How do you save this thing from grace? Whatever the case, I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more. And I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio.